The revamp is by far going to be the hugest update Southwest Florida has ever received. A brand new map, tons of new features, new driver system, new cars. It's going to be crazy. But even with all of the positivity this update is going to bring, there are still some things that I bet are going to put you off severely. So yeah, fines. Just saying, the street racers are gonna hate this update. I'm telling you, bro, like all this running red lights like you see what I'm doing right now, this is gonna be a fine in the revamp. There's gonna be cameras, all that type of stuff. And this information is actually coming from a developer themselves. Let's take a look. So yes, as said in this screenshot, there's gonna be an automatic fine system. And some intersections are going to have cameras, which I'm pretty sure are just gonna detect you speeding past the red light. They might even fine for speeding too, you never know. They really are diving into that roleplay sector, but it is said that more than likely, automatic fines are going to be disabled for EMS or when their lights are on. You know, that's fair, because you know, that's EMS. They got to get to their patient immediately without having to deal with a freaking fine, you know, losing money. There's going to be only a handful of intersections that's going to have this system, so it's not going to take too long to memorize them. I will admit, you know, losing money is not the best thing in the world, but you know, it's going to be a roleplay game. It already is a roleplay game, but like it's going to move more into that in the revamp. The last thing you want is just some unrealistic, reckless driving going on, right? Like, yeah, I like speeding, but I also like the occasional just chill cruising, using my cruise control, not revving all the way up every single time, because you know, it's just more laid back that way. And on top of all that, speeding in the revamp is going to be just crazy, because I'm not sure if y'all noticed, but the sense of speed is going to be insane, dog. Like when I was testing the new driving system, like 120 miles per hour actually felt fast. And it's actually because they're accurately testing these cars to make them accurate to their real counterparts. But you know, I digress. Fines are going to be making their way into the revamp. I'm okay with it, but some of y'all are probably not going to like it. I think it has registered in the majority of the community's minds that real cars are no longer going to be in the game when this revamp comes out, at least, right? Due to copyright and the fact that they cannot really afford licenses and they just prefer not to, they're going to be making their own fictional models that are still like inspired by their real counterparts. You know, I can understand why they're doing this, but people are not like it this way. You know, it's understandable. I mean, I'm definitely going to miss the real look of the 765 LT. It's a beautiful car. That doesn't mean they can't make a good fictional looking one though. That's not what I'm saying. It's just, we're basically going to be losing these, but like, we're somewhat getting it back. You know, the fact we're no longer going to have real cars kind of does put off people. I mean, you know, they got to do what they got to do. Some people just prefer that the game developers just get licenses, and here's two reasons why they will not. First obvious reason, well, not obvious, it's just, look, strategic development is not politics, okay? They're not millionaires, at least I don't think so. They do not have the funds at the moment to get licenses. That's the first reason. Second reason, they actually just don't want to. Even if they were to afford a license, they wouldn't get one. Here's why. Southwest Florida is a roleplay game. It always has been. Its core genre is roleplay. And something that most roleplay games have is the criminal team. And people love the criminal team, man. They really do. And you know what you can do as a criminal, right? You can rob businesses. And that is how you make money. You have the M9 pistol, the AK-47. Basically, it's a more violent role in Southwest Florida. If we were to get licensed brands in the game, they would have to remove the criminal team or just make it less exciting. Take away the soul of the criminal team. And you know, me personally, I do not want that. You know, I don't play as a criminal as much as others do, but when I do, it's just really fun. I gotta be honest. While the PvP system can use an update, it is just a cool feature, honestly. And I feel like licensed cars just wouldn't really hit in this game. I don't know why. I think the fact that they're gonna be making their own somewhat fictional original models, I feel like it's gonna add character to the game, because you know, at the end of the day, it's somebody else's work, right? Yes, it do take hours modeling these vehicles, but it's not really theirs though. You get what I mean? Yeah, licensing would solve this problem, but like, would you rather have one of the most fun aspects of this game still in this game, or a licensed brand in a roleplay game? I'd say licensed car brands would make more sense in a game like Java Empire or Forza Horizon, but Southwest Florida, I don't really know. I mean, imagine doing like a robbery in the new revamp, like you robbed a boat or something. Like, you seen the new bank vault? Like, it looks crazy. Why would they remove the criminal team? You seen the new guns, right? They look insane. If we were to get licensed car brands, those would be ripped. Like, they'll be gone. So people hate the fact that the real cars are gonna be gone, but it is what it is. Now, the topic of cars, for this one, I'm kind of mixed. Like I understand, but I don't understand at the same time. You're gonna be getting some cars, and you're also gonna be losing some at the same time when this revamp drops. So here's a short rundown, okay? The limited time vehicles that were completely removed from the game, those are going back on sale. And I think for the current limited time cars they have at the moment, I'm pretty sure they're either just gonna stay like this and then get fictionalized over time, or they're gonna be changed automatically on the release. I am not sure about that part, but everything else, like the normal vehicles that are not limited, as you guys can see, these are gonna be gone, like refunded. Some people hate that, and I can understand, because you know the tunes, right? You made some people tune all of their cars, which I do not understand. That's a lot of money right there. Some people genuinely have almost all of their cars modified, and they want that stuff to be saved, but it's just gonna be automatically out of your inventory. You have to buy them again and make all those changes again. I see that part. I can understand why they'd be pissed about that, but like at least you're gonna refund it. It's not like they're just going poof and you just don't get any money from it. But some people are a little bit upset about this, so at least they're gonna be. I know a few that are gonna be upset about that part. I mean, on the bright side, bro, that we're getting a whole revamp. This game hasn't updated in like, well, they updated last Christmas. It was a good update, but besides that, it's been like how long? Yeah, a year before that Christmas update, and it looks like we're about to go another year. It's crazy. But look, man, you're gonna be losing your cars. It's all good. At least you're gonna be getting the removed ones back. That's the part I love, you know, because if you think about it, it's like you're getting a second chance in a car that you didn't get at the time. For me, this would be the Lamborghini Revamp. What was another one? I don't really know if any other ones that I didn't buy that was like limited but got removed. Just saying, look on the bright side, okay? I'm not even sure what's gonna be happening to tuning anyway, but look, at least you're gonna be keeping your limiteds and you're gonna be getting the removed ones back. That sounds pretty good to me. So yes, there is actually going to be, well, allegedly, there's going to be a cap to how much money you can have when this revamp releases. Maybe not exactly when it drops, but like later on. I say alleged because it's not really confirmed, and I remember seeing one dev literally like advocating for a cap. A few months ago now, there was this talk with the C-Boys, who is a programmer for the revamp and for the game in general. He was mentioning that there's going to be a major change up in the job system. It's going to be much different. Now look at what he says next. This person was wondering if AFKing overnight is going to remain the best money-making method in the game, and he said no. We are literally working on getting rid of AFK farming. Like I can see right now, he was just fear-mongering. They're not actually going to remove AFK farming. They're going to make it weaker. Alright, but the thing is, you gotta look at it from like the dev's point of view, right? This game was meant to be a roleplay game, and it still is. But like, if we're gonna be realistic, it's kind of like a car roleplay game. The car aspect is really strong in this game. There's racing, tuning, there's a whole lot going on. Like, roleplaying is still prominent, but it's like the car culture in this game is really motivating people to just go crazy at fintech. That being AFK farming. People just want to make money. It's almost getting competitive at this point. They see a rich person, and they want to get richer than that person, and then so on and so forth. If your goal was to create a roleplay game and people are just being zombies, I bet you don't want that. So the plan isn't to completely remove it. It's just they're gonna be creating incentives to actually do the jobs normally. Here's the plan. You're gonna get paid more at the job for actually working at it normally than AFK farming. Honestly, this plan is really reasonable. Some people might not like it, but you're still gonna have somewhat of the option to AFK farm and still make some money from it. But these devs, I bet with all the hard work they're putting on that new map right now, they want people to actually like play on it normally and not just be zombies. What are some things that you are excited and not excited to see in this update?